Today I'm interviewing Lisa Kinman, Rookie of the Year for 2020 here in our office. She and I are going to be talking about what it took to get her into production. How long did it take? What shifted in her mind? What shifted in her business? And the whole process behind it. So make sure you watch to the end because it's some great stuff and I know you're going to get some value out of it. All right, here we go. All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Today I am with our 2020 Rookie of the Year, Lisa from Keller Williams Studio City. Lisa, welcome.
Hi.
How does it feel? 2020 Rookie of the Year, huh?
Oh my God.
Huh?
I still think they messed something up. They have to go back over their books.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, tell our viewers how long you've been in real estate. Did you just get your license and jump in last year? Tell us a little bit.
I got my license in July of 2019.
Okay.
Yes.
And did you come right into real estate or did you take a little bit to kind of sign up?
I drove straight from when I took my test and I got the results, I went straight to Keller Williams.
Actually, I
Actually,
love it.
yeah.
I love it. One of the things that really stands out about you for me is that I remember you in our first training program and you were there and it's like I saw this shy, timid woman or somebody that was really kind of reluctant to get out of her comfort zone. I remember doing a role play exercise and I called on you and it was like, oh my God, me really? And I was like, all right, we got a live one here. Am I correct on saying that, Lisa? Because I feel like that Lisa is not the same Lisa that we have today. Am I on target a little bit?
Pretty much. Yeah, I think I guess I am a little shy sometimes. And what really was going on more than shyness, or maybe together with shyness, is I had some solid armor on, man. I was really in protection mode and didn't want anybody to mess with me as long as I could figure out if I even wanted to be there or not. So
I love it. Great thing. I mean, what were some of the conversations that you were having in your head there as a new agent, with that armor on? Like what was like real estate life for you there? What was going on in your head?
Well, it was actually a little bit probably different than most people's experience in that I had some experience with several different multi-level marketing companies in the past. And oh my gosh, I hate being sold to and I hate being a salesperson and the sort of the cliche of that. And I had been, I didn't want to, sorry, I live near the trains.
No worries. Hey, this is real life.
Oh, please.
Yeah, I hear you just fine.
So I'd kind of been burned in the past. I was really good in my prior businesses with doing everything they say, even though it felt weird, and do exactly what the big guys are doing. And if I follow them exactly, then there's no way I can't succeed. And I didn't succeed. And but honestly, that's not even why I got into real estate. But the fact that I was there and I just didn't want to be another Kool-Aid drinker. You know what I mean? I wanted to see what it was all about for me and how I could make it work for me. And the jury was still out, honestly.
I love it. Thank you for your honesty. And I think a lot of people kind of have that, they may have tried other things and now and then here comes Tom in a class going, say this or role play that. And you're like, yeah, I'm not drinking this Kool-Aid just yet. I love that. Great. What were some of the challenges that you had to overcome starting as a new agent? I know there's a lot of things, we talk about lead generation. We talk about, using a CRM, a contact relationship manager. What were some of the challenges that you had as a new agent?
I think the biggest one was probably the amount of information that that a new agent is bombarded with. And I thought that everything that showed up in my inbox was something I had to do.
Right.
It was really hard to figure out, not knowing anything, what's legit, what I should hang on to, what is redundant, what I don't need, it was very confusing. There was a lot of chaos.
So do you think in the beginning I got an email here, and you were trying to think that it was all like legitimate, so I took it all in?
Kind of.
Or did you take some time to kind of pick and choose what you thought was working?
Honestly, I don't remember. It was just so overwhelming.
Gotcha. I like to say that homes are just our product. What we sell is our service and our knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But what we do every day is we're really in the lead generation business.
Mm-hmm.
Do you connect with that statement at all? Is there some value there for you, or do you?
Absolutely. Yes, definitely. Lead generation, again, like one of the big challenges is picking up the phone, and calling people. It's so not my style to talk to strangers like that. I can talk up to anybody on the street, walk up and talk, no problem, but to pick up the phone. But I have found that doing my lead gen, starting with my warm market, with my family and my friends, and sharing my enthusiasm and how much I love the business and the houses and everything, all my ideas that I can help with, and show what I did, and they pick up on that, and they remember me when somebody else says, "Hey, I'm thinking of moving," and then the referrals start. So that's really where I like to focus my lead gen, is more in a warm market.
So when you go back to homes are just our product, would you say if you like your product, then that energy kind of bled out, and then the service and the knowledge came in with understanding the market and things like that and the trends that were going on? So
sure.
on lead generation, I wanted to ask, like, what did you start with? And you kind of led into your warm clients. What do you mean by warm clients? What is that?
Well, warm clients, my warm sphere, they call it in the business, the sphere of influence or whatever. I have a big family and friends, maybe not a lot of like daily close friends, but on Facebook, I socialize. I have a couple different groups I belong to, and just talking, not so much about myself, but about, how exciting the business is, and people are interested. They want to know about the business, or, just keeping that part of me alive in my social context.
So the warm business, meaning spheres that you're already comfortable. You're not necessarily calling a list of expires or chasing for sale by owners. You were just working on people that were in a social dynamic group that you can have conversations easier.
They already know me. They already trust me. They already like me. And so why not?
Wow. That sounds kind of teacher-esque right there. Like I look back, they know me, they trust me, they like me. Like, yeah, absolutely. Did that produce results right away for you? Or was there a lag time that had to go through?
For me personally, there was a huge lag time. Because I resisted calling and doing all the steps that I'm sure work for everybody if you just do them. Right. But I lacked some self-discipline, and, the devil and the angel fighting on my shoulder, and it took me, I didn't have my first deal until September of 2020. So it was over a year that I just sat around looking and learning and thinking, is this ever going to happen for me? And,
Yeah. And just real quick, because, I went from seeing a kitten to a lioness in real estate in that short period of time. Like you said, from September, it's March of 2021. And so from September to December, your business shot off and you're like rookie of the year. And man, just congratulations on that. But in the beginning, did you abandon any lead gen models? Were there anything that you like gave up and then came back to, or share with us a little bit about that?
Let's
if any?
see. Abandoning and then coming back to.
Or did you abandon something and just say that didn't work for me? I'm going in a direction. Like, I guess what I'm leaning towards is, did you always stay in warm sphere, or man, Tom, I tried the for sale by, I tried the expireds and just wasn't for me. And this is where I went and found my niche.
Well, actually, where I started was in the cooler market, and doing like some things on Facebook, ads, and I did a little bit of like walking, door knocking, and stuff like that, and that was just so scary for me. And and actually, the warm market approach is what I changed to.
Got you.
Yeah.
And that kind of felt for your personality, right? I mean, that was
Mhm.
just who you are. And I think your energy kind of, like you said, you loved your product. When these warm people got that, they
Mhm.
kind of started to respond to you that way.
Yeah.
You know, in regards to lead generation, is there an hourly difference between what you lead generated then versus what you lead generate now? Or are you doing 30 hours a day, LOL, to 5 hour, or vice versa? Has your lead gen increased or decreased?
Well, it's not so much that I can't count the time because I don't have it blocked for one certain time anymore. I used to, in the beginning, have a set time where I would maybe make calls or something. And now, rather than have just a set time for just that, I just try to always be a lead gen machine, in that every time I talk to somebody, I hope that it'll get around to real estate. And I try to have that always be part of it. But of course, you don't always want to talk about yourself.
I love it.
So
And
I
then,
try to keep it alive all the time, and always have it just in part of who I am.
got you. So it's just a consistent daily thing.
Yeah.
One of the things I like to say is, I'm just going to be Tom today,
Yeah.
and I'm going to have lead generating conversations throughout my day.
Mhm. Mhm.
And at the end of the month, it's like, wow, I sold 3 homes, and
Yeah.
sometimes when you're on focus, you're probably like me, is I'm going to do 3 hours a day. It just pushes you farther away. But if you just naturally go out there, for some people, it really works for them,
It works way better for me. Yeah.
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 So if we talked about product, you're in love with your product, they're just homes. The second part is like service. And we talked about lead generation, service
Mhm.
and knowledge. What do you do in those areas for service and knowledge? I mean, I mean, you didn't get to be rookie of the year without giving good service. So that's a give me. But what about like knowledge? What type of websites, what type of data are you looking at, market trends? What do you spend there?
Well, of course, I dig around the MLS all the time.
Okay.
I love the information that I get at our team meetings every 2 weeks. It's
Okay.
always such good information, and it's always something that's relevant, that I can talk about. There are always answers to questions that I'm getting at that time.
Gotcha.
I listen to podcasts. I love podcasts,
Okay.
both for inspiration and also for information.
Love it,
So,
love it. So you're working on keeping that mindset strong
uh-huh.
and that knowledge strong, because it's more, sometimes real estate is more than just information about market trends or something like that.
So
Sometimes it's
much more.
about what's going on, maybe politically, or what's going on
Mhm.
economically and
Right.
stuff like that, that helps us to bring value to our customers.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
got
Definitely.
you. It you mentioned this, just recap. How long did it take to get your first deal?
Over a year. Let's see.
And
Yeah,
that's
like
all, and
11, 12, 13 months, 14 months.
13 months. I mean, that takes some strong mindset to kind of weather that kind of storm, yeah?
Yeah, it did. To be honest with you, when I was taking classes to get my license, I wasn't even sure at that point if I wanted to be an agent. I just loved real estate.
Got
And since I did have, I guess I'm fortunate, I do have another business of my own to fall back on that I've had for like 20 years. So if I didn't quite make it in real estate, I can still play real estate and make money doing this other thing that I don't like doing that much. So
Where did your first deal come from?
my sister-in-law.
Your sister. So wow, that was really close. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it.
Uh-huh.
Got
Yep.
you.
Just she had to sell her house, and it was time to. She chose me, and I was like, oh my God, you're kidding! I was
I
so
love it. I love it.
happy.
Well, I mean, when you look back, they knew you loved your product,
Mm-hmm.
and they knew you, they trusted you, they liked you. And you know, after a year of being in something and not giving up, I mean, who better than to get involved with somebody who's going to weather a storm like that? So I think it's definitely well deserving. But it also seemed like once you got your first deal underneath your belt, it was like
Started happening.
it just started happening, huh?
I guess it's possible. Maybe people were waiting to see how I would do once I started. And I just really feel like that first deal gave me such an opportunity to shine and to work and to do it and shout it from the rooftops. You know, I just had so much fun doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was work, no doubt about that. It's a lot more work than most people know, you know, but it's so fun for me. I just loved it so much. And
yeah.
People heard that.
I think most of us that last in the business, there is that it's fun. There's work, there's stress, something, you know, I've yet to find a perfect deal that just closed seamlessly. You know, I kind of like to say sometimes real estate transactions are like a cake in the oven. Some cakes are done in 20 minutes and some take 25. And no matter how long it is, it's just taking that long. And as the chef, you just have to know that this cake is going to take 25 minutes, you know, and I'm going to patiently watch it. Was there ever a time that you wanted to give up in real estate in that year?
Well, you know, what's funny is right before I got my last deal of the year, which was also like the most expensive listing I've ever had, I had like one bad day where I'm going, do I really want to keep doing this? But luckily I just like picked myself up, and the next day I was like, of course I still want to do it. And then like the next day after that, I got the call. I was like, oh my God, thank God I didn't quit.
It's kind of like that book. What was it? Oh man, where he talks about 3 feet from gold, Think and Grow Rich. You know, some people get right there and they give up, and they're 3 feet away from that goal. What kept you from quitting?
Just the fact that I love it. I love houses. I always have. I love real estate. I love trying to figure out what something is worth and how I could make it better. Let's see a house that needs to just be restored and touched and loved and cared for and cleaned up and brought back to life. You know, it's just that is what turns me on. So.
And I know you've had success in other areas in business and stuff like that. Was the reason why you gravitated to real estate was because of homes and stuff like that? Was that your main draw? Like when you decided to get your license, that was it, or?
Yeah, I was talked out of getting my license by another agent when I listed my own home about 20 years ago. And she said, oh, no, you don't want to do that. You want to be with your kids on the weekends. You'll have to give up all your weekends. Oh, no, you don't want to do that. And I just thought, oh, okay. And I'm so mad at her right now because I am so mad for waiting all this time to do something. I didn't know I love it. Yeah. I didn't know I'd love it this much. I love it. I knew I would, but not like this.
Yeah.
Not like such a perfect fit for me.
You know, there's a lot of man hours that go into it. And there's a lot of weekends that go into it, but they're all, for me, and probably like you, they're get-tos, right? I mean, I get to get up, I get to help somebody buy and invest or sell real estate, build wealth, build a family, grow roots. I mean, it's a pretty rewarding feeling when you hand over that set of keys, or you let them know that the deal closed and that wire of those proceeds are in their account right now, and they're going either on to the next chapter of their life or they're beginning a new chapter. I mean, really is a blessing for me too when I get to experiencing that. Yes.
Tom, that is something that was unexpected that I didn't really plan on in this business. I never imagined how fulfilling and how rewarding that moment would be. I just never, it is so great. It is
Yeah.
so wonderful to
Yeah.
do that. It is
Amen.
so great.
I'm with you. I tell newer agents when I'm interviewing them or when they come in, I say to them, look at, you want to be in real estate, that means every day you wake up, you're unemployed.
Hmm. I remember you said that to me. I
Yeah,
remember.
do you remember? Right, right. And I said, it's
Still,
what you do daily that puts food on the table.
mhm.
Does that statement still resonate with you? Do you get up and like today what am I going to do, like action wise items?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's part of what's driving. Like I said, I still have that other business,
Yeah.
and that has it's a crutch and a blessing, but at the same time, I think it holds me back because I still have to spend some time on it. And as long as I have that safety net, I'm really not pushing myself.
Wow.
So that, I would love to walk away. And at the same time, what if I walk away and then go through a dry spell? Oh no. So I still have fear, of course, for sure. But
Absolutely.
yeah,
So we don't even really know what you're really capable of yet.
I'm going to find
Um,
out this year.
yeah, we don't even really know what home runs you can hit in your life. And I tell the story too of the Vikings when they would land their ship to do battle, that that they would get all their soldiers and stuff off, and then they would burn their ship and tell their soldiers they had to fight, they had to win. You
Wow,
haven't really burned your ship, so to speak,
I
yet,
haven't.
and really found out like, man, this rock star is really out there in the making still to be happen. So there's a lot more of Lisa to come, huh?
Yes, definitely.
I
Definitely.
love it. You know, were you surprised to be chosen Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, God. I couldn't believe it. I didn't, when I heard the name and thought, no, they must be another Lisa. They must have made a mistake. I mean, it still doesn't compute. Sorry.
Yeah. I
Yeah, still
remember when we
surprised.
had it in the paper and the thing and stuff like that, and on Facebook, and your big old eyeballs popping up in your emojis and stuff like that, and I was like, look at this girl, like, Henrik was just like this girl just took off in this short 90-day window and just killed it during a pandemic. I mean, crazy, yeah.
Yeah, it was so fun.
Good. Well, as we begin to wrap this up, and thank you for sharing this stuff, it's awesome.
My pleasure. Thank you.
As a seasoned agent, most of us look to the past to tell the future of real estate. We take our past experiences, we look at past data, but someone like you who had so much success as a newer agent, I think your energy, you kind of shape and create a different market because of the things that you did. I mean, had Elisa not come in at the time she did and did this business, our numbers may not reflect where they were. So I want to ask you, where do you see our market for 2021? What do you see it being like?
I see 2021 as being I think probably the best year in history. Honestly, I do. I think there's a perfect storm right now uh, of course, there's the low interest rates that are probably going to be stable somewhat for the year. Um, uh, good prices on homes, a lot of interest. I think because of the pandemic, which is ending, people are getting more excited about getting back to real life again. I think people have found that they can work remotely. A lot of people can, and so they don't necessarily have to live right here in the city. They have a lot more opportunities, a lot more options. I think a lot of people having to stay home have saved more money than they have in the past.
Right.
I just think there's so much going for this business right now. I think
Yeah.
2021 is going to be killer too.
Yeah. interest, I mean, the properties are, our inventory is really low too, so that's keeping our market strong. Interest rate, I mean, at 3%, 2.9% for 700 and something thousand dollars, I mean, good Lord, that's a great time to be a buyer, and it's a great time to be a seller. It's that perfect balance. 2020 was like that too, right? Yeah.
It was, but I think still under the pandemic and not knowing the future, I think a lot of people still held back, to see what was going to happen.
Yeah. Now
Now
that
that
the
things
vaccines are out there,
yeah,
you're seeing that
yeah.
stuff, and hopefully they're opening us up. I mean, it's going to be a year right now in the middle of March that 2021 that this whole thing happened. So it's crazy. I was listening on the radio and they were saying, if somebody would have told me a year ago that it was going to take a year, I don't know if I could have lasted, but they told me it was only going to be 2 weeks, and then it was only going to be a month, and it was only going to be a month, and it's like a year went by, and it's like, yeah. Best trick they ever played on us to help keep us sane, because if somebody
So
told us we
true.
were going to be locked up for a year, I think we all would have went bananas. So
Totally hear you.
any closing thoughts or comments would you want to share with our viewers? A new agent just starting out, maybe somebody who's hitting the block wall right now, anything that you could share with us? Any wise wisdom, rookie of the year?
What? Oh my God. Let me think. Just stay with it if you love it, and try to learn a little bit every day. Read a book or listen to a podcast if you're in a slump, and get some information and some inspiration, and just have fun with it. Just put your heart into it and see what you're capable of.
I love it. Lisa, thank you very much for taking the time out to be with us today. Awesome to be in business with you, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom.
Okay, we'll talk to you in a bit. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
All right, so that was my interview with Lisa Kinman, 2020 Rookie of the Year, during the pandemic, hit home runs, and really became an amazing realtor. I'm sure you got to love her in that interview right there. Listen, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below so that you can be notified of any future episodes that we have. And I hope you're having an amazing day. And if you have any challenges in real estate, I'd love to hear from you. Listen, I'm not looking to promote any coaching channel here. I am just wanting to give back to a business that's been so great for me. And this is my opportunity to share my 25 years of knowledge of real estate in the business and interview some of the great agents that I've been lucky enough to work with. So I hope you guys stay tuned for future episodes. All right, thanks.